Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Shadow, bringing you guys another round to the Sully's Abode locals. I'm facing Hart. Um, he's playing Dofi for his first time this local. Honestly, this is probably the worst matchups for Blackbeard, in my honest opinion. I won dice roll and chose to go second. I figured to go second instead of giving Dofi second because they could play two little bodies, and if I played a Lafitte and Dot Q, they can knock both. Just to go second, I pitched the stronger and I grabbed that black hole. I chose the black hole just for removal, and I play out a Lafitte, and you're gonna see me chuck a Burgess. I opt to choose the Burgess just because I know I'm gonna find another one, and I'd rather have the black hole for removal. But I'm gonna end up regretting it just because out of life I end up triggering Finger Pistol, getting rid of the Weevil, and if I had that Burgess in hand right now, I could have established it. It would have already been a 6k, and he wouldn't have been able to remove it right away. So I would have just poked for 5 with leader, left the Lafitte up, and the next turn I would have began searching. But with the Lafitte, I end up searching another Lafitte and play it out again, because now these are basically little pseudo blockers for me. And I'm looking at my hand to see exactly what to grab. I believe on one of these searches there was 2 10 drops. I put them both at the top, and I'm gonna grab the Van Augur and chuck the Van Augur for the stage ability. And you're gonna see there's another Burgess there, and I believe I'm gonna grab it again. But the best play would have been for me to play out that first Burgess and probably chucked the black hole. But you never know. I had no clue I was in a trigger Finger Pistol, and I would have rather have removed the body right away. So was not in my favor. I chucked to do leader ability just so you know on play, so his Jinbeis are not active or his laws. He plays out a teach, which teaches such a menace, allowing the Dofi to get the 2 rested Don and for sure establish a body. And then he plays out a Sengoku, swings at one of the Lafittes, so I'm not able to search as much. And then the Weevil hits the field, no on play, so he was not able to draw. And I separate it just because I do have a Laboon in hand. I still have the Burgess. Establishing the Burgess would be very nice, but I'm gonna opt to start with stage. And here I believe I'm looking for a Doc Q, if I'm not mistaken, because I don't have Doc Q in hand. I have the reduction. I'm gonna chuck the black hole, which again I should have just chucked that from the start. And I'm looking at how much Dawn I'm at. So I grabbed the first 10 drop just because I only have 2 more turns till I get there, and I knew I bottom decked the other 2, so I had to grab it right now. Because I know the Lafitte's not gonna stick around, and I won't be able to dig through 8 cards this turn. Or yeah, 8 cards the next turn. So I do the Lafitte search, and I end up seeing 2 Doc Qs and a Vasco. Grab the Doc Q, add it to hand. I still have 5 Don, and you're gonna see I'm considering how to do a swing. I was gonna do an 8 at the Weevil, which would require him to give me 2 cards if you wanted to save it, and probably establish this Doc Q and pop the Sengoku to try to get 2 bodies off the field. But I opt to just do 6 at the Weevil. He gives me a 1k, and I'm gonna Finger Pistol it off the field. And I opt to do it this way just because it solidifies the Weevil off the board. And if he wants to swing with the Sengoku and the Teach, he'd have to establish more Don on him. So it gets rid of the Lafitte. I did do leader ability. I forgot what I chucked. Looked like probably a Burgess. But honestly, in my opinion, I believe the Burgess needs to be established. I'm just afraid to play it early in case a Gravity Blade happens. But that would take him to turn 3, and then he has no other turn. So definitely in future Dofi matches, establishing a Burgess early as I can is probably the move. So going second to play out, you know, a Searcher and something else for like a little pseudo blocker, and then into a Burgess would probably be the correct play into Dofi's, because it's already a terrible matchup. And if I had that body on the field, I would have been able to put so much pressure, since, you know, you look at my trash, it's filled. So my turn, I end up playing Laboon and then dot Q to kill the Boa. As you saw, he ended up just swinging out with the Teach and the Dofi. So I swing 5 at the Teach. He lets it go. I'm going to do stage. I'm going to chuck the Van Arger, but I'm going to look in my trash first to see how many Van Argers I've trashed. Just in case I don't see another Laboon, because at least Van Arger is searchable. And Laboon is not. And I end up seeing Vasco Shot, and you saw that there's a Laboon there, which is what I was afraid of seeing if I end up needing to use it. And then I chuck Lafitte for leader ability. And next turn I will be at 10 Don, so I will start slamming down 10 drops as I can. So Sengoku swings into dot Q. I need to let it go because no matter what, he's going to swing at it again. So I do draw a card off that, which I do need. He's going to swing 5 at life. I believe I'm going to counter out of this. And I choose between countering with the 2K and Burgess. I should have just gave him the Burgess at this point. We're too late in the game for me to think about playing it. But I gave him a 2K, and he's going to swing 6. And this is where I was punished. If I would have just countered 5 and then 2, I would have still had the Vasco Shot and then these 2 Mihawks. You know, he plays the 2 Mihawks, but I would have had at least a blocker to be able to block with. So slam the first 10 drop. 10 drop's going to nullify leader ability and the Mihawk. So the Mihawk is unable to attack the entire next turn, as well as losing all its abilities. So I swing 5 and 5 into the Jinbei. I was hoping that one of the cards was an event, because Dofi does run Perfume. So the reason why I swung both times into the Jinbei thinking that one of those was an event, but he ends up having 2 2Ks. So the Jinbei stays. I could have for sure cleared the Sengoku, but I decided trying to get rid of the Jinbei would have been a better option. But he does get rid of the Laboon, swinging into it, and he does get off one of these Mihawk's ability to draw 2 and then has to trash 2. So he ends up trashing a Prone and a Buggy. It's not worth it. At this point, you're better off establishing more 4 costs. Hart is playing this very right, going super wide, because I am unable to deal with the board. So I end up blocking his last hit, and he establishes another Croc. So I'm going to swing at the Jinbei. He has no cards in hand. This time it has to go. Play another 10 drop, stun the Croc, and then I pass turn. I do use leader ability as well, so I do lose a 2K. But I honestly think at this point, using leader ability was not worth it. I should have just held on to the 2K. He's basically playing off top deck. Even if he plays a Jinbei, he has nothing else to play. So holding on to that 2K probably would have been a better idea. It honestly would have been the better move. There was no point in me even doing leader ability at this point. I would have at least had an extra counter in hand. So he's trying to figure out how to swing. Obviously, you're gonna want to swing with everything, even the Sengoku. So he swings 7. I'm gonna just block it. I only have 1 card in hand. If I had the other 2K, I could have got out of 3 of these swings. So swings, I'm countering out of that for 2, and then I believe here he's gonna attach 3 Don, and he's gonna swing for 5. I have to take this, and then he plays out a Teach. So if I had that other 2K, I would have at least got out of the leader swing and the Sengoku and had at least 1 life left, and been able to look for some type of options here too. But no matter what, I was in a pretty bad spot. So I don't think it would have mattered. I do find a black hole, and I believe I have a Burgess in hand. So I'm gonna swing 5 at one of these rested 5Ks, black hole the other. And I realize he still has way too many swings, so I'm just gonna swing for the Teaches and admit defeat. But if you guys like the content, make sure to subscribe to the channel, like the video, comment down below what you guys thought, comment on any advice into the Dofi matchup. I would absolutely need it. I will catch you guys on the next one.